November 21st, 4:40 p.m.
This message is for Brittany Valentine. Brittany, this is Linda Peterson with Ted Nugent calling from Detroit. We would be interested in booking an interview with your guys. If we could get an advance copy of the book, please forward that to the Ted Nugent Show, care of Ted Nugent, USA. Regardless, give me a call back on 517. Anytime after 1 p.m. Eastern is best for us as we're working on the morning show in the morning. Again, my name's Linda Peterson with Ted Nugent. Thanks, Brittany. Bye-bye. Good morning, Ted Nugent Show for Gordon. Please.
Yes, right here. Is it Linda?
Hello, Gordon. How are you?
All right, very good.
You ready to go?
Psyched.
All right. Pronounce your last name.
It's Gebert.
Okay. Ted will probably ask you that as soon as you come on.
That's cool.
Are we reaching you in L.A.?
I'm in New York right now.
New York. I wasn't looking at my
That's cool.
area codes here. And are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. We are in commercial, Gordon, so it'll be just one moment, but we'll be up and running real quick here, okay?
That's cool.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for your patience, Gordon. As soon as they come out of sports here, we're all set.
That's fine.
All right, thanks.
Ted Nugent of the Full Time.
Hey, it's Crisscoula, formerly of Kiss. I must say it that way. But you're listening to Ted Nugent, the Motor City madman himself, on 102.7 The Bear.
Ted.
Turn on your radio.
Nugent. I know you're great. Radio. Ted Nugent Radio. On 102.7 The Bear. WWBR, Mount Clemens, Detroit.
Certainly. Who the hell's going to stop me? Good morning. Merry Christmas, my friends. We have Mr. Jazz and Mr. Steve here. We have Ward and Linda here. And now we have a guest from New York City. God bless the pastrami epicenter of all things greasy. Gordon. Gebert, Gordon?
Gebert.
Gebert. Good morning. Merry Christmas, Gordon.
Hey, Merry Christmas. How you doing, Ted?
I'm doing grand, sir. Yourself?
Very good.
We're on fire here, and we're willing to throw gasoline on the flame. So your new book, Kiss and Tell. I have a feeling, Gordon, that you were just one big snotty-nosed, greasy, wild, out-of-control rock and roll fan in the beginning. How am I doing?
Actually, you're wrong.
I bet I'm
No.
I'm on or I'm wrong?
You're wrong.
You look like one in the picture.
No, actually, I was a professional keyboard player. I'm a professional keyboard player, and I wasn't as out of control as you thought. Pretty much a sane guy as yourself. You know, you come off as well, you're a great rocker and all that stuff, but you're not into drugs and drinking and things like that. And I'm not.
Which is why I'm still here, and Criss Farley's not, and Ace is drooling.
Exactly. And that's the point of my book, also.
So you wrote this book. It's called Kiss and Tell, and it takes us back, I imagine, in the book to the origins. That I mean, if you weren't into the decadence and into the goofiness, which really Kiss perfected, what was the attraction in the beginning? Were you the one that knew Ace from the beginning, or was your partner?
That was Bob McAdams.
Okay,
yeah.
So Bob knew Ace from the very origins of his drool career.
Yeah. Bob met him when he was like 14, 15 years old in the Bronx.
So you came in after they'd already kissed.
Yeah, I came in the post-Kiss years. Yeah.
So tell me the combination of observations between your partner, Bob McAdams, and yourself, Gordon, calling live from New York about your book, Kiss and Tell. What was the uniting thread that got you guys together to write this book, Kiss and Tell?
Yeah, well, it was weird. I gotta tell you my motivation, because I start off every interview. I hate people that write tell-all books. I hate the Kitty Kellys, and the hanger-on.
Be careful then, because Criss Farley hated himself, and look where he is.
Yeah, no, I'm saying all the people that were friends with people and wrote books to make a buck off somebody's friend's name, and that's not the point. That's not the point in this case.
Prove it.
So. Well, actually, what happened was I was best friends with Ace for 8, 9, 10 years, and we were really tight buddies. And he had his demons with his alcohols and drug and all that addictions, and I put up with a lot, And we went into business together, and it fell out, and it still wasn't reason enough to write a book. But Ace publicly pointed fingers at me and said I stole and embezzled money from him.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the time you spent together. I mean, I knew Ace. I'm not an expert.
You're mentioned in the book.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I has read that earlier today. It was a grand example of how I towered over the inbreeds within the very industry that I succeeded in spite of them. Needless to say, Gordon, you were around Ace. You're talking about being bosom buddies. It sounds like blood brothers. You were really close. How does one avoid the very life pulse of an Ace Frehley? Because to the best of my knowledge, and I think I have an accurate understanding of Ace, he was in a stupor the entire time. I mean, we're talking about a guy that had a struggle to form a cohesive syllable. A guy that's communication skills were nearly non-existent every time I saw him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Always had a cigarette in one hand, drugs in the system, and a chaser in the left hand, an alcoholic chaser of some type. Literally every time I ever saw him, the most he could get.
Yeah, he was toasted, wasted.
How did you not? How could you be compatible with a guy if you're claiming you weren't part of that scene?
That was the weird thing of our relationship. It was like frickin'. It was frickin' frack, actually. It really was. Everybody thought I was going to get suckered into Ace's world. You know, I was going to become a casualty. And I'm a very strong-willed, strong-minded person, and I rose above that, and I became a good influence on him. I tried to be, tried to keep his life in check, and
By the way, you failed, boy.
I did. I have. I tried to keep him on the straight and narrow. And
but he took advantage of your friendship quite often, it sounds like, in the book there, Gordon.
Yeah, well, he took advantage because he still continues to take advantage of because of his celebrity status, actually. And I get a lot of criticism from fans, and, there's a lot of Ace Frehley fans out there that really do not know the personal life of Ace Frehley and Kiss. And they take the side of, Ace is the God, and whatever he says, his word is God.
Have you ever noticed, though, Gordon, when you go to the Ace Frehley shows, I mean, he played in New York when I was there a couple of years ago, and I saw him again, and he was absolutely a shadow of he was the man formerly known as Human.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he was just absolutely in a cloud, and I find that most of his followers haven't figured out personal hygiene yet. Obviously, there are other examples. Steve Black is my partner in crime here, and he's a big Kiss fan. He owns everything that Ace ever did.
Right.
And Steve has figured out personal hygiene just last week. But those are the kind of people that hung around him. You obviously broke that mold, but when you got flack from his fans, weren't it just guys with little puddles of spittle in the corner of their mouths, and does that really matter when they have a problem?
Yeah, I don't take it to heart or take it too personally because they when you become some kind of public figure, you're going to get criticism no matter what you do.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Right. I've seen you on politically incorrect.
Yeah, if as long as the Gomers don't like you, it proves you're not one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. I always say, look at the source where the criticism is coming from.
Hallelujah.
But people have to realize. I mean, there were good times with Ace when Ace was sober. The few and rare times, he was a really cool. He is a really cool guy and everything.
I think if I may, and you should know better. Maybe you can confirm or deny my suspicions on the occasions that I've met Ace and tried to conduct a conversation with him. He's a genuine guy. He would probably have made a better welder than a guitar player because I think his failure to handle the stardom manifested itself in the props.
You hit the nail right on the head.
You're damn right. That was a double lunger, and that was my arrow through the middle of it. It's so obvious. The guy had to have these props, or he couldn't have made it from one day to the next.
Yeah, and also you hit the nail on the head with his musician. If he didn't become the musician that he is, he'd be flipping burgers in McDonald's.
Yeah, because he's just the kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that was serving the hot dog on Dirty Harry. That Dirty Harry told the Down 911